G'day YouTube, Ryan Jake Lambin here. I'm going to talk to you about my new game, Whip the Vote, which is very relevant. It's all about US politics, and it's based on the I can't keep doing that accent. I'm a terrible Australian. It's based on the first season of House of Cards. Like Frank Underwood in House of Cards, you play the Democratic whip in Congress, and so here in the first bill we have Defense of Marriage Against Supreme Court Marriage Redefinition Act. It's a Republican bill. That's why it's all so much red. Designed by this T. Graham fellow over here. And because this is a redefinition of the Supreme Court definition, it's going to cost them a 3/5 majority. They have to get 60% of the cast vote, which is higher than normal. Normally you only need like 50%. So this is a special bill. Lobby's going out for it. So there's going to be money flooding all the reps as the lobby pours money into this bill trying to get it passed. And we are starting off with not very good numbers. Look at all these fours and strongly fours, and this guy flipped on us. There's the only Democrat who's going for, probably because his polling numbers are so low against his rival G.I. Casey, polling well in California because they think he's a G.I. Joe or something. So S. Roach, I'm gonna say Stuart Roach, he has a high conscience in his voting preferences. Voting preference is basically the personality of each of these NPCs. So a conscience, and having a high conscience in this game kind of means what you think it would mean. He has his views and he sticks to them, and he fights for what he thinks is right. But it also means that he values himself. Not just his opinions, but his ability to be the one giving his opinions, giving his votes on bills. So the fact that he's polling really low in his home state, which controls his seat, means he's liable to, if he doesn't care too much about one way or the other on the subject of a bill. Maybe he doesn't quite care if gays get to marry or not, then that means he might flip for money. So we should probably promise him some money as well. And there you go, he's now strongly in opposition to the bill. All it took was a promise, a bit of money for election time. So that used up one turn. We have 20 turns on each bill, and in that turn the Republican whip, our opponent in this game, also took a turn. He met with Montana Representative T. Nicholson. He highly values the district he's in. He highly values Montana, which are overwhelmingly 60% against this bill. So that's why it's blue here instead of red. So let's encourage the citizens to contact them and tell them, and that changed him to undecided. That's not bad, not great. Republican whip met with K. Maury, I'm going to say Kevin Maury, and he's strongly in favor of the bill, even though his state is against it, and he values his state. So I kind of wonder, in this you can see that it's clearly that the Republican whip added some pork for him, and the last guy, which is probably why he was still undecided even after we gave him some money. So what pork does is it adds an amendment to the bill to send some, it has nothing to do with the bill, but it adds an amendment so that his state, in this case K. Maury's state of Kentucky, can get some money, and it'll increase his favor when he comes back home. But he cares about his district a lot, so that's why he did it. We were able to bring him down from strongly to in favor. by getting his constituents to contact him. I think we'll move on. Let's see what we got here. Tina Tolson from West Virginia. Her constituents are not in favor of this bill, and she has a caucus of SR Burlingame. I'm not gonna try and guess what those letters stand for. And Bob Roberts, Robbie Rob, he's in favor of his district and his conscience. He's got a low standing for his caucus, but the way caucuses work is that whatever opinion the leader takes, Tina here, will trickle down to her caucus members. So if we encourage her citizens, now she's still strongly in favor, though. Let's give her some money. Yeah, she could. All right, there we go. Now she's strongly in opposition to the bill, and we got Burlingame as well to be in opposition, and we got Bob Roberts undecided. So that's the power of a caucus leader. So let's see what else we can do. Envy Clark. Well, she has a high caucus, but she's not in a caucus, so that doesn't really matter. She's got a high party rating, which means she likes to toe the party line. We could maybe encourage her citizens, but that's the third most important thing. And the last important thing is her conscience. So let's try and turn some undecideds, some of our Democratic undecideds. So he favors his district. There we go. We got him in opposition. Someone else left as well, didn't they? Must have been him. T. Tolson got flipped back just then by the Republican whip. You notice it took him an extra turn to do that. That's because the way these turns work is we both do something at the same time, and of course I can't see what he does on that turn, and neither can he. He can't see what I did. He can't see until the next turn, so there's a delay in turns before he can really act on something I've done. So it took him that long to flip T. Tolson back, and I think we'll flip her back, but later. For now, let's get Woodson. Yep, encourage him. He's now in opposition. Where'd all these people come from? Montgomery flipped. Tavener flipped. Because she's in the caucus of DeWitt, probably, is what did it. And he was flipped, probably to do with money, because he's pulling so terribly against NT Underwood. Naomi Turner Underwood. And so for Stuart DeWitt, we'll promise him some money, and that got him back on our side. What can we do about I. Montgomery? Let's threaten to fund her opposition. There we go. That got her on board. Alright, and so we're at 9 turns now, and I want to tell you about TK Humphreys. This guy, he flips on a dime, and he's got a huge caucus. The largest in this whole starting representative lineup. He has the biggest caucus. Huge caucus. Huge. So we're going to try to pull off a trick here. When we get to the last turn, whatever I do, the Republican whip cannot respond. So having a guy like TK who flips on a dime, let me just show you how fast this guy flips. So I'm just gonna promise him some money. He's currently in favor of the bill, and now he's strongly in opposition of the bill. That is how fast TK Humphrey flips. So I'm not gonna do the Republican whip is gonna, in the next turn, once he sees what's happened, we'll flip him back, guaranteed. So See if we can turn some of the... See, undecided, undecided, undecided. They all turned undecided when TK did. Naomi Underwood still held out. So let's see if we can't turn her, give her a little bit of an extra push. We'll threaten to fund her opposition. She's still strongly in favor of the bill, but that's because Republican Whip got to TK. Now he's strongly in favor of the bill. Like I said he would. This guy's still undecided, and this guy's in favor now. So we're gonna try and turn TK on the last turn, and there's also Tina Tolson here with her 2, which I think we can try and make on our side. So I think we'll have way more, well, plenty of people to make sure that the 60% doesn't happen. In our last 7 turns, let's turn some undecideds. Get Sammy Black back in. He'll fold. Threaten to fund his opposition. Piece of cake. Edwards. Let's encourage the citizens. Didn't push him out of undecided, which is odd. We'll promise him some money this time. Maybe keep him out. Alright, we've only got 4 turns left. So I wanna threaten to fund Tina Tolson. And we'll go to Barry, see if we can get him back by encouraging his district. Did not help, so still undecided. Well, let's threaten him. That got him on board, and here's the last turn. Going for TK. By the way, is T. Tolson no, she's strongly in favor of the bill. We can't get her back. Should have used that turn on her. But let's threaten him and pray. Here he comes. Come on. Come on. Killed it. We killed it. So let's have a look at this. This is the votes. We have 22 were yes, and they needed 29 with the 3 absents. And we got those 25 no's, and we turned some Republicans. This little black letter here, black R, means Naomi Underwood, the Republican, voted Democrat, and so did W. Anderson and TK Humphreys, of course. The black ones are the absents. And no one on the Democratic side voted Republican. So, suck on that. Alright, and here's Dr. President Hazel DVS, veterinarian. He's telling us we did a good job. And here comes the next bill. This one's a Democratic bill by bill designer I. Montgomery. And that means we can request pork and concession rights, which is a lot of fun. Gives us a lot more wiggle room. We can now add pork to anyone, even if they're on our side. So we have a rush to vote option here now, because this is a Democrat bill, and that means that if we click this, we can end the vote right now. This is a power only we have. Republican Whip can't do this. But it changes it to an absolute majority, which means because the voting rules right now are a simple majority to pass, 50% of the vote, it'll still be 50%, but absent votes will count against us. That's what an absolute majority means. But I think we probably shouldn't do that. The numbers don't look in our favor right now. And we have pork. We got pork to spend, so let's and concessions to make. So concessions are fairly useful against people who are strongly in favor of the party. Let's see if we can find someone like that. So this guy, Ian Burwell, he's he highly favors his party. So normally that'd be a pain in the ass for us. But what we can do is reach a compromise with Bill Concession, and he declined it, and that's going way over the line. That's a bug I need to fix. Good thing I showed it in a Let's Play. Let's see if we can't. Let's get some of these Democrats back on our side. And he's in favor of his district. We'll add some pork. Win-win. Win-win-win. Here, you get some pork. You get some pork. Look, it's beautiful. It's so easy. Just give everyone pork. There's no lobby on this bill, so money is all in our hands. Me and the Republican whip. We just turned TD case, I guess, or yeah. So let's. She doesn't have any blue opposition, so I don't have a problem giving her some pork if that'll turn her, which it doesn't. She declines it. Let's get her district on board. There we go. Now she's in opposition to the bill. So now it's very much blue, blue, red, red. We could try and turn some against or some undecideds. Let's get some undecideds, especially these blues. We can't have you guys. Let's use the pork since I got it. I'm just gonna give pork to everyone until I run out of turns, basically. We've got to get this Immigration Act through. Can't let down Dr. President. You know, my mom, she reckons there's no way that Americans would ever vote in a Dr. President like I have in this game. Because, you know, thinky, talky people. Who would vote for? Americans would never vote for someone, so, you know, with credentials. Why would you want someone with credentials? You know, who'd gone to college and knows how to do things. But I think my guy, Dr. Hessel, would do pretty good, because he's not a people doctor. No one cares about people doctors. But he's an animal doctor. He gets to have, you know, puppies in his ads, in his campaign ads, and he gets to shit talk his rivals while he like castrates a pig. It would be great. There's no way he wouldn't win as a veterinarian. That's what you need in Congress. So we've got 6 turns left, and I think we've got this, maybe. Look, we got 18-4, 5 strongly for. I got 5 of his guys undecided. I think we've got this. I'm tempted to do rush the vote, but I can't. I'm not that good at math. Would we win this? 18, 19, 20, 21. And he's got 22. Plus the no, that wouldn't work out. I want to show you the rush to the vote, but I mean, I'm sure you get how it works. Now is not the time. I would lose this and look very stupid. Promise him something. Very nice. He favors his conscience, and he's not doing that much. Let's threaten him. Very good. So all these promises and threats I've been making to turn people, these aren't consequenceless things that you can just throw around, although why wouldn't you? You gotta make up all these promises and threats you make, or at least the ones that that go through. If you look here in the party info, You have the expected election funds, which is the amount of representatives you have times 2. And you have the pledged election funds that have been proposed during this bill, and the pledged election funds that have been confirmed from previous bills. And what these mean is that you owe people money. If you threaten someone and they end up voting your way, then you are gonna have to make good on that threat by funding their opposition come election time. And if you... Let's compromise this guy. See if that does it. Never works. Never works. Yep. Do that again. Nope. Alright, I got 1 turn left. I think we'll do alright. I think we're gonna win this. I think. So, yeah, what was I saying? If you, oh shit. Cubs. We did it. We did it. Alright, let's move on. Yes, we're doing great. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Pleased to... I salute you. Yep. Alright, so we've got a drop here. We've got Captain Hollis of the DCPD, who's just delivered some beautiful information on N. Thompson. And so now we've got these options that we can force submission with his dark secret, or release the dark secret to the media. Now, you might have noticed these options: dig for skeleton and pass. I've been ignoring them, but what they do is they allow you to try and find a secret, but we get one for free each cycle, basically. And so let's try and force submission. Let's get him to do whatever we want. So after revealing your knowledge of his dark secret, Georgia Representative N. Thompson decided it would be best to work with you. So now he is never going to go against us on a bill. So this is a Republican bill, and so he will be undecided. And if we wanted, we could force him to vote on with us by calling on him. But each time we do something like that, we increase the amount of stress he's under, which risks him potentially bailing. Anyone could end up. Anyone could just decide to leave Congress at any time. It's a totally plausible thing to give up power, especially if someone's holding a secret over you. So we have an uphill battle for this minimum wage abolishment act. Republicans really want to get rid of the minimum wage, and some of the Democrats do as well, and there's a lobby for this bill, which makes it even harder. So we have a lot of work to do. We have our work cut out for us. Alright, we are making progress. And a lot of that progress is down to the Republican whip doing nothing right now. That's because he is in such a strong position. The Republican whip is kind of lazy. So as long as I think as long as we are just taking back Democrats, for now he will not care. Just let us do what we want. Threaten him. Very good. Let's promise him. Let's promise him. Alright, now the Republican whip has gone back into action at 11 turns remaining. He's talked to Samuel. Let's threaten him. Now, let's see. We need to turn some of these stronglies. We got TK Humphreys and T. Tolson in here, which they both, as you remember, are very weak to money, so we'll leave them for the last 2 turns this time. See if we can get both of them. Let's check out their caucus. Their caucus. Strongly. So let's get some of these people ready to flip, and I flip TK. And we got 6 turns left. I'm not sure we're gonna make this. The Berlin game has a Democratic rival. Come election time, we'll need to try and get her, but kind of like Berlin game. It always comes along with whatever Tina has to say. We got 2 blues here. We can turn back. Republican Whip is having a nap. Last turn, a big old promise to TK, and the jury says, shit. Well, you can't win them all. So, I mean, this one, it seems like everyone's in favor of this bill. Neighbor Needs a Hand Foreign Aid Act. Even though it's a Democratic bill, everyone wants to give foreign aid, so let's just rush the vote. I mean, or we could give the Republican Whip a chance while we try and collect skeletons. No, we'll rush the vote. I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk losing something we have so strongly on camera. So that was an easy win there after a disappointing loss. Yeah, we are making history. Thank you, Dr. President. So here we have the presidential budget, which happens every cycle, and he says nothing much to ask of you this time around. I just need Congress to approve my budget. I can't even imagine a universe where such a simple and critically important task such as keeping the government funded would be made into a political wedge issue. By the way, this is a normal bill that you can add pork or concessions to, even though it's our Democrat bill. Although I'm sure you knew that already. I'm counting on you. Whip the vote. Whip the vote. So, yeah, this is a budget. And the Republican Whip is going to try and kill it just to make the party... just to make us Democrats and the president look bad. This bill is special in that there's this new concept called riders. So there's Democrat riders and Republican riders, and both me and the Republican Whip can request riders. And what riders do is, you've probably heard of them whenever a budget comes around. It's a bunch of dumb, unrelated stuff pegged onto the budget, which normally should pass no problem. Alright, we could easily rush the vote to pass this, I think. But I kind of want to show you what riders look like. So let's get good old TK Humphreys and request him to create a rider. So TK Humphrey started to work on drafting a rider. If not delayed, it will be presented in 3 turns time. And so we could delay the creation of a rider. There's 2 turns remaining on it. He just talked with T. Tolson, trying to flip her. And she is in opposition now. Let's get her to create a rider too. So when we request a rider of Republicans, we make the budget more Republican friendly. they like their riders. So we've got her making a rider now. I think we should probably just make tons of Republican riders and hope that the Democrats still want the president's budget to pass. Estimated worker drafting a rider. Yep. TK Humphrey's rider, a retailored version of the Invisible Hand Reach Around Minimum Wage Abolishment Act, has been appended to the bill. I don't know why he needs to do that. That just got passed, but okay then. He wants he wants not only there to not be a minimum wage, but he wants employees to pay their employers. So let's see. So we got one rider added, and I'm gonna try and get some undecideds. Just normally. So T. Tolson's rider, a retailored version of the Moocher Booter Welfare Abolishment Act, has been appended to the bill. So at this point, if Congress passes this presidential budget, there's going to be people without welfare. R. Lovell's rider, a retailored version of the Texas Infrastructure Project Immigration Act, has been appended to the bill. So he wants to build a wall on the Texas border, and he added that to the bill, because why not? So we got 3 Republican riders on this. Let's request some riders. Let's try and make this bill so weird. S. Black's rider, a retailored version of the Do Something About It Already Gun Control Act, has been appended to the bill. So that wasn't a rider I requested. Sammy Black's was requested by Republican Whip, who's now visiting C. Thornton. Probably asked. Oh, yep. See, she's got a rider. Let's delay her rider. H. Montgomery's rider, a retailer version of the Second Amendment Blowjob Gun Freedom Act, has been appended to the bill. Very nice. More guns for everyone. Just what I want, obviously. W.E. Jones' rider, a retailored version of the Second Amendment Blowjob. They all like the Second Amendment Blowjob Gun Freedom Act, so they're all going to be appending it. We flipped to TK. Got 12 turns remaining, and things are looking alright. Alright, we still got 22 on our side. Not bad. Although that could be better. Okay, you make a rider. Thank you. And you too. Everyone gets to make a rider. C. Thornton's rider, which we did not request, or did we? I don't remember. A retailored version of the Not in My Backyard Fracking Ban Act has been appended to the bill. N.D. Balagani's, a retailored version of the Neighbor Needs a Hand Foreign Aid Act, has been appended to the bill. Everyone likes the Foreign Aid Act. So let's get back where you were. Move it. S.R. Burlingame's rider, a retailer version of the Golden Trickle Tax Cut Act, has been appended to the bill. We're gonna give those employers some tax breaks. Why not? Let's see. S. Blake's rider, a retailer version of the Support of American Technologies Fracking Expansion Act, has been appended to the bill. So we have both a fracking banning act and a fracking expansion act on this. M. Mahoney's rider, a retailer version of the Neighbor Needs a Hand Foreign Aid Act, another Foreign Aid Act added. Let's let's yep. And look at all these people. We've lost all these. How'd we lose 22? We had so many people. Okay, create a rider. That's because of all these Democrat riders we've been getting. Here's one for the Recreational Drug Decriminalization Act. Right, let's go to some of these people who've added riders that are getting all these Republicans moving to the against column, and let's demand them to remove them. Nope, DeWitt refused to scrap the rider and was so infuriated by the demand that he has now further increased its legal reach. That's a terrible thing you just did, DeWitt. We're trying to... Alright, let's see. Alright, Alright, he favors the party, so this time, when I demand it, he will definitely... Alright, he scrapped the rider. Yep, we got a new Republican rider and a new Democratic rider. Let's see who we can see who has a rider. We've only got 4 turns left. Trying to see if I can get those Republicans back over here that I lost like an idiot. Who has... Alright, there we go. He has the party in second, so I think we can demand the removal. There we go. He has a rider. He holds the party in very low regard, so let's just negotiate this rider. He's reworked it. Wait, who is this? W. Pike appended the Walk in Another Man's Shoes Gay Marriage Conscription Act, which obviously means that everyone has to get gay married. Very nice. Okie dokie. Let's see. This is not looking great. We've only got 2 turns left, so let's see if we can't do our old classic promising money to T. Tolson, and TK Humphreys is already on our side, so let's have a look at his caucus. His cockety caucus. His big old caucus. He's in opposition of the bill. Alright, I guess this is the last turn. Please don't lose the budget. It was so simple. Alright, we did it. That was close. We beat it by 4. Not too bad. Yep. I'm doing a great job. Thank you very much. Elections! The most exciting time of the year for politicians and hedge funds. I'm leaving you in charge of who will be putting our money behind. Remember, any promises or threats you made that you don't honor will lower all the representatives' trust of you if the representative you promised or threatened returns to office. Oh, and just in case you haven't noticed, our funding amount is tied to I've already told you all of this, so go net us some more seats. Thank you, Dr. President. So what we have here is elections. So we got the names have been changed to the states. I'd like to point out that this is definitely not an educational game, because this is supposed to be a simulation of Congress, but Congress has way more than 50. This might be... Maybe I should have done it about the Senate. Congress only has 50, which... I mean, Congress has like 400 something representatives, unlike the Senate. Anyway, so these P's here, these black P's, means we pledged some funds, and the black names of the states means there's both a Democrat and a Republican fighting it out. So these are the places we want to dump some money into. So we have pledged 2 funds to Sammy Black, good old Sammy Black. So let's give him what he wanted. Pledge 1 there. Did we? Yeah. Tennessee, we got 1 pledge over here. California, got 1 pledge, but he's also up against a Republican, and he's losing pretty bad. We got these polling projections here based on the funds. It's important to point out that these polling projections don't take into account any money that the Republican whip will give out. So you probably want to do a bit more than you need. Let's give him 11 funds, try and win California. Or keep California. Give him some money. Let's see, Idaho. Yeah, there you go. There's your money. Take your damn money. Oop. Vermont. Don't want Vermont going to a Republican. Ah, geez, I ran out of funds. Still got. That looks like a bug on my part. Why is Georgia red, but the name is black? Ooh, that's fun. Anyways, we're gonna end it here as I confirm my election fund distribution. Try and win some more seats. We got +1, not bad. Yep, let's turn the entire country blue. So I'm going to end it here on the Not Our Problemo Foreign Aid Repeal Act. Whoosh. So that's with the vote. You can buy it on Itch.io for $12. Hold on, let me do this. $12 on Itch.io with the vote. You can also buy it in a bundle for with restricted RPS for $14. Save $4. Wow, save $4. And I'm also looking to translate this game. So if you have English as a second language, I'm looking for Spanish and German and one of the Portugueses. Translate this game, and I'll give you the game for free. So just email me, pigpen@googumproduce.com, and yeah, with the vote.